And here we go with another new series. Spawning up at the top right for Team Liquid, it is SKillous in the blue. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left for Onsyde Gaming, it is Maru in the red. Now, this is a very intriguing match for a couple of reasons. I'm going to go over that real quick. We got a gas first from Maru. I don't think anyone's sending out early SCVs for a proxy, early probe for a proxy, anything like that. But I want to talk about this matchup in general. So, the players that are playing today for the World Team League, the 3 best of 2s, the 6 maps we're going to get, it is Maru versus SKillous, it is Solar versus Elazer, and it is Ryung versus Clem. Now, I want to talk about the matchups themselves and how they kind of work and interact with one another. So, on paper, there was never going to be an easy set of matches for Team Liquid here. They were always going to be having to deal with Maru, and none of their players are particularly well set up to go up against him. But of all the players they have, the one who I feel like maybe is the most likely to catch Maru off guard, the one maybe most likely to be able to defeat Maru, in my opinion, is actually SKillous. So I think from that perspective, Team Liquid got probably the best matchup there. But at the same time, it is his debut, and having to go up against Maru in your debut, that's pretty daunting. That is extremely daunting. Maru, by the way, hiding the command center in the main base, hiding that 1 Rax expand, so SKillous won't be able to know what his opponent's doing. Could be a hidden second barracks on the map. SKillous doesn't get to know, and he won't know for a while. We are seeing Terran starting to take advantage of this little mind game here. It's pretty clever. Now, for the other 2 matches, I think Team Liquid... Oh, okay, Maru does find the probe here and will be able to deny the scout of even the natural expansion location. So, just good stuff from Maru. But as far as the other matchups, I think that Solar versus Elazer could go either way. But I feel that the best case scenario for Team Liquid would have been if Solar Elazer was instead Clem Solar, and the TVT was instead another TVZ with Elazer playing off against Ryung. Because Ryung is elite in TVT, as is Clem in TVZ, although Solar is also pretty elite in ZVT. He beat Maru recently, even though it was Maru kind of messing around. Solar's ZVT is extremely good. If maybe a little bit too stock standard, but I think he's shown that he is more than capable of competing at a truly top tier. Whereas Ryung's TVZ is significantly lower than his TVT and his TVP. But who knows? Who knows? Anything could happen. Now, in this case, we won't see what his TVZ looks like. It will be TVT and ZVZ. But I'm just thinking for Team Liquid, it would have been a little bit better if things had matched up slightly differently. But if SKillous takes a map versus Maru, that opens up all kinds of opportunities for Team Liquid. As it stands, that is their key to success, is either one, SKillous somehow takes down Maru, takes a game off of him, or Clem and Elazer have to show up. And the unpredictability of ZVZ, so the broad strength of Team Liquid's roster for Onsyde Gaming, I mean, they're relying on a 2-0 from Maru, and then the truly elite state of Maru's TVT. Now, we do see the Widow Mine in the main base. It looks like Maru tried to bluff that there wasn't a mine in there, but SKillous did double check. Oh, the Widow Mine does get a big connection. 10 probes in the natural. Oh my goodness, that was looking initially quite good for SKillous, and he didn't pull the probes from the reburrow just in time. Just barely didn't do so. Almost a textbook defense. But unfortunately for SKillous, loses 11 probes in total. And we actually see the Widow Mine. Is it going to escape? No, okay. SKillous will be able to blink forward. Gets the pick off on that. Good job from SKillous to run that down. But Maru's already got a tank on the other side of the map. SKillous, hey, picks off one Marine. Good job. Very quick micro. SKillous. The reason that I'm saying SKillous can do, like, it wouldn't blow my mind if he did win is because he's an extremely strong player. Still, it was always going to be a tough situation, and finding himself down from the early game it's not gonna help at all. Raven will come in for a little bit of harass from Maru here, and we'll find 2. Oh, he's gonna get 3 probes. No, he's gonna get 4. Oh, but Stim? Oh, that's a nice find for SKillous. Okay. Well, that's going to slow things down significantly for Maru. And a big pullback on the Observer just as the scan comes in, saves it. And look at that, Maru with a little bit of a duck face right there. He's not too happy about that. He's like, hang on, who is this guy? What are you doing? Look at that. That's Maru's emoting significantly. Look at that. I mean, it's not like a creator desk smash by any means, but that's definitely like a, huh. I don't like that so much. Now SKillous, even with that, he is still behind because while he killed Stim, and that's great, that delays your opponent's attack. Ooh, nice job from Maru trying to sneak up on these stalkers. SKillous did have his stalkers on hold position, and he gets out of there. Quick reaction time. Does take a little bit of hold damage, but not too bad. Good job from SKillous on the reaction time. Maru is still ahead. Killing Stim doesn't undo the probe damage that SKillous took earlier. Now, SKillous is double expanding here, which is a very bold move. And honestly, I love it. I love it. It's the kind of thing that he has to do to try and make up for the losses he suffered. Meanwhile, the Observer does spot Maru's army moving forward on the left side. SKillous will have at least... Does he have 1 Colossus or 2? I think it's just 1. Scan in the main base. Not sure what it's looking for. Maybe just the tech. SKillous trying to slow down this army a little bit. Okay, it is 2 Colossus. That's useful. Raven on the right side does find this base. SKillous, ooh, even just a single stalker finding these medevacs. It's nice to know that the army rotated. So that's actually a really valuable little scout for SKillous. Ooh, but Maru now counter-rotating back over, using the fact that he found the base on the right against SKillous. Oh, SKillous trying to bait out the interference matrices as quickly as he can, but Maru's not falling for it. And there we go. Now he goes for the fight. Double interference matrix, but he misses. He gets a stalker instead of one of the Colossus. And now the third Colossus pops out. Extended thermal lance is about to complete. SKillous trying to bait out the Widowmines with a blink forward. Not able to do so, but he kills the Widowmine with coincidental splash damage from the Colossus. However, there are so many Marauders here, and Maru is using the wall of SKillous against him. SKillous needs to get those Colossus onto the high ground and start pounding away at those Marines, but he's not going to be able to do so. And I think Maru will take this down anyways. Yeah, that is going to be a calm Game 1 victory for Maru. And here we go. Game 2. Spawning up at the top right for Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And his opponent spawning down to the bottom left for Onsyde Gaming. It is Maru. And as much as I was hyping SKillous up in that previous game, there's a reason that, you know, Maru is who Maru is. He is just an outstanding player, obviously. And anytime he's able to kill 11 probes in the early stage of a game with, yes, it was a 3 Widowmine drop, not just a 2 Widowmine drop. Still, 11 probes is the kind of damage that it feels like he is always going to be able to close that out. It feels like the number of times that I've seen Maru not win a game from that position is why I don't think I can remember a time that he hasn't been able to close that out. SKillous did about everything he could. Really did everything he could, but there wasn't much to be done. And that was even with Maru missing one of the interference matrices on the correct target. But that didn't even really matter because SKillous was like contained in his natural. There was like 10 Marauders with that army, which is a lot of Marauders. Now, what are we going to be seeing here? Okay, look at that. SKillous able to force the command center to be built out of position. Sees that it's a Marine. Yeah. SKillous, by the way, with the chill Scarlet knee. I'm putting that knee up there. Just getting himself comfy. As a weird sitter myself, I can appreciate that. It's... Eventually, though, you get to a point and your like blood flow starts getting weird, and you're like, okay, I gotta do something. Wow, Maru going for a very fast third CC here. Incredibly fast third CC off of effectively when he started that, just one Marine. And against a Stargate play, in general, that is pretty darn good. Because, well, unless if it's single Oracle into very fast blink, that could be decent for SKillous to try and put some aggression on to follow it up and get something done. It also depends what SKillous does with his first Stargate unit. So if he doesn't go Oracle and goes Phoenix and keeps those Phoenix back for, you know, maybe till he's up to 3 or 4 Phoenix, then it's not so great. But it will be a fast Oracle. That is probably best case scenario for SKillous here. Maru is the kind of player that, yeah, loves doing this kind of thing. Very fast, greedy plays. He plays so strategically diverse. It's fantastic. I really enjoy watching Maru's approach to the game. Now, we are going to be seeing Robotics Facility as the follow-up to the Quick Oracle. That is strange. And 2 more gases than the natural. Okay, probably going to be Colossus, if I had to guess, from SKillous. In fact, I almost guarantee that it will be at this point. Marine's well positioned to shoo this Oracle away. Oh, we got to check his vision. Did he see the command center? That is really important. Does see the 2nd and 3rd barracks. Okay, yeah, and he'll see the engineering base, sees the 3rd CC. Starts up a Phoenix. Okay, I like that he cancels that Phoenix immediately. Yes. Oh, and a very quick 3rd Nexus. Very smart decision making here from SKillous. Excellent response. And yep, there's the robotics bay. Okay, cool. This is... He got the information very good, or very quickly, that his opponent was going for this fast 3rd CC. Maru, that doesn't invalidate the good economy that Maru's going to have off this, though. It's still going to be a great economy. SKillous adding on an Immortal is curious. I mean, Are there any things... The 3 racks stim combat shields +1 timing that's going to be hitting after, well, as these upgrades complete. It is going to be beneficial to have an Immortal against that. And especially with SKillous timing the Immortal out well enough such that he didn't lose any robotics facility time. That's good. That's good for SKillous. That means that he won't miss out on Colossus production. Oh, Maru with a very quick... Wait, no, what am I saying? That's his first starport. For some reason, I looked at the starport, and in my head, it was finished already, even though I saw it basically start. I was like, wow. And when I looked at the production tab, yeah, it says first starport. So first 2 medevacs will be on the field rather shortly. SKillous, he is going to have a Colossus here. He'll have that Immortal. He's got Shield Battery Overcharge as well available. And he's in position for this. Forge and a Twilight Council coming on in for SKillous as well. Now, these sentries are not going to be the most effective in this position. Battery Overcharge, where is it? Force Field's going to trap these units. Kind of better for Maru that the the Stasis Ward triggered right there. Only 2 probes go down. Yeah, Maru's going to have to retreat. Oh, if SKillous can get the inside edge. No. I was thinking he might have been able to get a good force field that would have picked off a couple Marines, but Maru is rather quick to get out of there. Still, this is a really good start for SKillous. Behind this, he's got +1 and charge on the way. His extended thermal lance is it's pretty far along. And a 4th Nexus. Yeah, this is a solid start for the Protoss player. But it's Maru, so it's not like It's not like you can write Maru off. Absolutely not. Doesn't matter how far behind Maru is in a game. He can always win a game of StarCraft. Oh, this is not the best for Maru, though. Nice force fields from SKillous. Going to grab a couple of Marines. Maru able to get a Zealot on the way out, but yeah, good little find here from SKillous. Ooh, we're going to see a counterattack coming in from Maru. He's just, he's threatening with this. So if SKillous were to push forward and try and get something done, Maru could sprint in with those units and find an opening. Altitude is a very large map, and it's really difficult to deal with two big armies from the Terran at once. Maru knows the Colossus are here. What is SKillous's army split looking like? And in fact, we got Maru rotating over a little bit, but SKillous, look at that. He's got two Colossi in the natural. Yeah, this is very solid defensive play from SKillous so far. Maru, though, still in a good position. His upgrades, he started 2-2. His economy, once again, was great from the early game, so it's not like he's having to catch up in that regard. I do like that SKillous adds on a second forge and even now a second robotics facility. Maru, ooh, he's going to put some more pressure on with a Widowmine drop. 4 Widowmine drop on the right side. That is going to be a problem to deal with. SKillous, he's going to need to spot this, and he's going to need to chrono boost his upgrades enough such that there won't be a 2-2 versus 1-0 timing. I think it would be very razor thin. Like, I think only like 2 chrono boosts is going to be enough to make sure that that doesn't happen. Okay, SKillous, where is he looking? Does he see this? Oh, he doesn't see it. Widow mines. Oh, they're going to be big. Oof. Actually, not as bad as it could have been. 7 probes do go down. There will be a drop in the main base. Colossus holding the watchtower. SKillous. Okay. 11 probes. Not great, but not very salvageable. Oh, nice revelation right there from SKillous, making sure this Widowmine can't get away from him. And he finds the medevac on the right side, but there is a push on the left. SKillous needs to save these Colossus desperately. I think the Widowmine should get cleaned up there. The cannon will complete in time, and actually he revelates. Very responsible play from SKillous. That was going to be pretty down to the wire if he didn't revelate right there, so wise decision to do so. SKillous, ooh, is moving forward. This is a 4 Colossus army. Nice force field right there, but Maru with a hot pickup. SKillous able to pick up a couple of units on the retreat. And this is an army that Maru can't fight at the moment with what he's got here, unless he gets a really big concave. Big EMP does land on a good number of Zealots and the Immortal, but Ghost will get picked off on the way out. SKillous has a decent-sized opportunity, but he doesn't want to fight into 2-2 before his 2-1's complete. Oh, this could be a brutal anti-timing if he doesn't disengage. Okay, yeah, he's going to be able to avoid the worst anti-timing he could have ever walked into. And like the most razor-thin one as well. Maru is trying to set up for a big surround right here. Oh, he's going to pull the boys. We do see the War Prism is going to get taken out. SKillous needs to break through on the left. But actually, he's going to be able to clean up a lot of this army in the back. SKillous? No, the Colossus are going to get collapsed on. There's just not enough for him, and Maru will get the cleanup here. It looked promising at first, but that great surround from Maru does get the job done. And now it's a 69 supply lead in terms of army, which is very nice for Maru. SKillous, it looked super promising, but Maru does what Maru does best, which is make engagements that look like they're going to be close end up completely one-sided. That was an outstanding engagement from Maru. Oh, that was a lot of Widowmines going off at once. SKillous, yeah, there's no chance at this point. Not a chance in the world. And Maru is going to do what we all expected, but SKillous certainly held his own. I was going to say had his opportunities, but to be honest, the one opportunity that it felt like he had, Maru shut the door. Well done by Maru, 2-0 lead. All right, here we go. Spawning up in the top left. He's got his work cut out for him. It is Team Liquid's Elazer. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right for Onsyde Gaming. It is Solar. looking to put his team on match point right here. Now, this is a tough scenario here for Team Liquid and for Elazer. Because you've got two opponents that match up at worst evenly with you. And you're down 0-2. Now, that is not SKillous' fault. He's going up against Maru, one of the greatest players of all time. Many people think the greatest player of all time. Personally, I think I've evolved to the point where I think that's an irrelevant statement. I don't think it matters if people think someone's the greatest of all time or not, because I don't think we'll ever have enough consistency over a long enough period of time for there to actually be a truly undisputed greatest of all time. I think the only thing that could have happened, well, okay, there's a few events that you could make arguments for, but I think the only thing that could happen is if Cyril's reign of utter dominance, if some player had that for like 4 to 5 years, and Cyril had it for about a year and a half until other players caught up and it became like people caught up. But the thing is, even about that, people will say, well, it was mostly against foreign players, blah blah blah, and that's not even true, because it was also against a lot of Korean players. Like, he had a ludicrously high peak, but since then there has been a little bit of a return to not normalcy, because he's still a freakishly good player, but he doesn't have that level of dominance, that like 85 to 90% win rate anymore. And I think the only way someone could be considered the GOAT is if they have that level of win rate over the course of, like a 5 to 6 year period. And I just don't think anyone can do that. And no one has. But I think that's maybe the only way that they could. Elazer does get the jump on his opponent's links, by the way. It is worth noting for this game, nothing has really happened. So my little dissertation hasn't missed anything. We do see Solar getting a Baneling Nest. No Baneling Nest for Elazer. And it's going to be a bit of a Ling Flood from Elazer. Ooh, he actually out-micros Solar there a little bit. This is really good for Elazer because he's going for a Ling Flood, which the intention is going to be to deny that third base. And he's already put like 500 damage into it. This is great for Elazer. And now he finishes his Ling speed just a little bit faster, kills off an additional Zergling. It may not seem like much, but it's a very small margin by which these little situations are decided. If Elazer gets the cancel on this base, that will put him into a phenomenal position. He's got his own Baneling Nest behind this. Solar is going to let that finish, but I think the base is going to go down. Nice job from Elazer kind of baiting the Lings to the side. Excellent start for the Team Liquid Polish Zerg. Now, Solar is up 5 drones, which is significant. That is not a small amount. Oh, we are going to see Banelings moving forward here from Solar. Elazer starts up 6 Banelings of his own, but a bit of a mistake. He actually morphs them off of all of his Lings instead of Lings that were reinforcing. So a good number of them get canceled right away. But hang on, was that a bait? Oh, was that a bait from Elazer? Okay, well, it doesn't work anyways if it was. Oh, well, he gets an okay connection. He might have been trying to bait his opponent. Oh, no, it's the counterattack Banes. Ooh. Can he get another denial on this base? Solar has droned up a decent amount. Elazer is droning behind this, and that will mostly even the worker count up. Elazer still comes out of this ahead for the moment, as long as he doesn't eat any big Baneling connections. Okay, we're good. As long as he doesn't eat any big Baneling connections, he will maintain a small lead right here. Solar, for his part, he needs to get a little something done. One way or another, I think counterattacking with Ling Bane is probably the best option. But Elazer is a strong micro player, despite the 7 that World Team League would imply. I assure you, if Elazer and Solar were 7s in micro, they would lose a lot of ZVZs. That is for damn sure. Unless every other Zerg is a 7. Oh my god, I've uncovered a conspiracy that goes all the way down to the number 7. Banelink counterattack from Solar on the... Or is it going to be Lings, or is he... He's got to be getting ready for a Banelink counterattack on the right side. Oh, Baneling's in the middle. Elazer does get out of there. Good stuff. Solar trying to find an opening here, but Elazer, oh, just barely avoiding this. Banelink connection. It's okay, but it's not amazing. Elazer actually, oh, okay, he snuck away into the main base of his opponent. If he can get a sneaky Bane morph there... Okay, no, he won't. Solar does, in fact, run down these Lings. ZVZ so hectic, and... I mean, both of these players are extremely good players in these highly chaotic situations. Looks like Solar did pull his Lings from the right side back. Elazer is just getting a good number of roaches. No Evo chamber yet from Elazer. And he's only on 3 gases right now, but he does start up that roach horn. Yeah, Elazer needs more gas. He's actually floating a fair amount of minerals at this point. And there we go. There's the Evo chamber coming on in. When the chaos of Lingbane ZBZ does take over, it is really easy to miss your gas timings. And it looks like that has happened a little bit for Elazer. So he's... Yeah, he's floating a fair amount of minerals. And this is actually going to let Solar... Wow, that's actually going to put Solar a little bit ahead right now. Mostly just in terms of starting up the roaches, but Solar is already massively ahead in terms of the upgrade timing. He's got a full upgrade lead. That's not supposed to happen in this matchup. That is terrible news for Elazer. Solar identifies a Dropper Lord in the middle and puts his Overseer on top of it. That is actually very well done from Solar. Elazer going to try and go for it anyways. So, I mean, he's just trying to get some value out of these Banes. 2 spores being produced. Oh, the Baneling run by at the 3rd base did finally coalesce. 5 drones, not the worst thing in the world, not terrible. Yeah, it's just going to be the 2 Banelings from earlier from Elazer. I mean, you can get value over time from Baneling draw, or from a Dropper Lord. That Spore, very effective from Solar. Got a ton of damage. The bonus versus biological, really useful. Elazer adding on Burrow and Tunneling Claws. Solar getting his own double Evo and a Dropper Lord of his own. I wonder if we'll see either of them heading towards Hive. If we're being honest, there are a lot of Zerg players that do not like playing Roach Hydra, or well, Hydra Viper Lurker, which really a lot of the time turns into Viper Lurker Spore. It is tedious to play that style. It is tedious, it is long, it is exhausting. Solar with a nice little counterattack here. How many drones does he get? He's going to get a few, actually, with only a couple of roaches here to defend. Elazer will finish up that roach, Burrow, and Tunneling Claws, and he's going to try and split off and get something done. We do have the 2nd Evo Chamber on the way for Elazer. Elazer, ooh, does lose a Ravager to those corrosive biles. Nice biles from Solar. And a better upgrade setup for Solar is bad news for Elazer. It is 2-0 versus 1-0 for the moment, and it's soon to be 2-1 versus 1-0. Elazer starts up his own 2-1, but it is going to be late to the party. We will see roaches on the left side. Oh, if he could unburrow and get that Evo Chamber, that would actually be pretty huge. But I don't think he's going to be able to find that. Elazer will be able to corrosive bile and zone his opponent out for the moment, but he's going for drones, and he will find actually a lot of them here on this left side base. 8 drones going down. Meanwhile, Elazer finding some decent corrosive biles. Oh, Solar actually walking into his own biles a little bit there. Elazer doing a good job of creating chaos, but Solar still has a big upgrade timing advantage. However, with Elazer keeping Solar at home and some pretty solid Roach Burrow play coming on in, yeah, Solar's being held back, and Elazer is buying himself so much time. 59 drones to 66. Obviously, these losses are not the worst. Oh my goodness. Solar lost a ton of overlords somewhere. I don't know if there was like a clump of them that got biled, but Solar just had to build 6 overlords at once. Corrosive Biles. Oh, do land on the center of Elazer's army. Now, Elazer is going to be the first one to blink and go for that hive, which is better, obviously, for Elazer. Oh, Corrosive Biles. Oh, once again, landing on a fair bit of the center mass right there. The thing is, I mean, if Solar doesn't get up into his own hive, like, that's going to be a really big problem. Solar is trying to hit with some own Roach Burrow micro of his own, so we got things really heating up here. Solar is on top of all of Elazer's run-bys, whereas Elazer isn't tracking the one that is in his own main. Solar... Oh, actually, Solar doesn't have it unburrowed yet. Okay, there we go. Now he unburrows. And he will see the hive finishing up. And at this point, now Solar kind of needs to go. And he is going for it. Oh, he catches Elazer out of position. The upgrades are even now. But Elazer's going to lose this 4th base. And that is a big problem. He has been zoned out of this location. And this is desperation for the Team Liquid Zerg. Losing this base, losing 16 drones. Elazer is now in a world of pain. Solar's got a much bigger bank. Elazer needs to get a really good engagement. Oh, Corrosive Biles do land on the Ravager of Elazer. Elazer, he's going to be able to dodge that Corrosive Bile. But yeah, no, he's just... Solar's trading evenly, which is the only thing he needs to do here. He needs to just not trade horrendously. Oh, Elazer... Okay, no, he's going to save that base. If he had lost the 5th base as well, and Solar was on 5 bases, I mean, obviously in ZVZ it's kind of weird because you don't want to... You don't actually want to be that far ahead in drones when both players are going Roach, because Defender's advantage in ZVZ is, like, not as effective in the other matchups. So you can't let your opponent have, like, a 30 army supply advantage, or they will just ball up their army and kill you. And that is something something that can happen. The other thing, though, the other side of that coin is that one good engagement can win you the game. Ooh, now it's actually Solar finding a good engagement. Does find a little bit of Elazer's army kind of boxed on the left side. And Solar is just continuing to pick away at Elazer. And I think we are going to see Solar... Yeah, he takes down the 5th base. Dropper Lord might get... No, it actually doesn't even go down. Yeah, I think Solar's got this game in the bag. The time of Elazer being able to force Solar back and take a really good fight, well, it's not even about the timing of that. It's more so that Solar is just all over him and isn't letting him take the good engagement that he needs to. So eventually Elazer's going to run out of money, and Solar is going to be able to keep producing way more than his opponent. Elazer, I think this might be his final curtain call here in this game, which will put Onsyde Gaming up 3-0 and force the ace match if Solar can close this game out. Oh, he's even going to find the rebuilt 4th base. Oh, Solar, just click it. Click it. Okay, he gets it. Solar adding on +2 Carapace as well. He doesn't want to transition out of this game. He just wants to close it out here and now. Elazer trying to get up this ramp, but even if he wins this fight, he's not winning it hard enough. He won't win this fight. Solar will take the game and guarantees 1 point for Onsyde Gaming. And here we go for game number 4. They're on the ropes for Team Liquid. It is Elazer in a must-win situation just to try and force an ace match. And spawning down to the bottom left for Onsyde Gaming, it is Solar in the red. This is, it's only week 1, but this is a really tough start for Team Liquid right now. Now, granted, Onsyde Gaming are championship contenders. 100% championship contenders. But you want to be able to compete against a championship contender. And you definitely want to be able to take maps against them. And right now, things are not looking great. Now, Elazer can turn things around right here and now and hand the reins off to the Super Ace and Clem. But as far as teams that you want to go up against going into the Ace match, Team Liquid's worst nightmare is Onsyde Gaming, because there is not one but two stellar Korean Terrans. Now, what are we going to be seeing here on Royal Blood? So far, we got Hatch Gas Pool out of both players. Of course, Onsyde Gaming in the offseason, Neeb has fully retired. This is not where he was, you know, kind of part-time-ish, and he was still competing in the DreamHack Masters, and, you know, casually winning the whole time. No, this is an actual retirement, because he has withdrawn from DreamHack Masters this time. So he is, sadly, it is looking like it is the end of the road for Neeb's career. Going to focus entirely on his studies. He had a really cool resurgence for several months where he really went hard on the practice. And in my opinion, in terms of overall skill, actual skill, I think he became, at worst, a top 3 Protoss in the world. In terms of skill, I think he was a legitimate champion contender for a couple of months, and he was inches away from really showing that off at DreamHack Summer, DreamHack Valencia, yeah, where he dropped an incredibly close 3-2 to Creator that he really had won. He had it locked up, but Creator kind of pulled a bit of a miracle, and Neeb made a couple mistakes that were rather uncharacteristic. And it ended up with Creator being able to win that series 3-2. And I believe that was the round of 8. And of course, you know, if he wins that, you're in the round of 4. That is, by all accounts, that is a world-class performance, for sure. Now, we are going to be seeing a rather quick Roachhorn and second gas from Elazer. I think he's just going for a big Roachling Bane attack here versus Solar. This is something that has been extremely common and very powerful in ZBZ for the last little bit. We've seen a lot of aggression because it's been quite difficult to scout the opponent's natural in this matchup. Oh, as I say that, Solar with a misplaced Queen. Roach Warning does get scouted here by Elazer. And, I mean, that's really good information, though, to know from that Solar is doing this at the timing he's doing this at. Oh, does that Ling scout the Roach? Nope. No, it's not going to scout the Roaches popping out. Okay. Still seeing no drones at the third base. We're going to see a Spine Crawler getting started up. Solar only 3 drones more than his opponent. Elazer, though, this is going to be tough to hold. This is going to be tough to hold for Solar. Now, he does have his own Roaches in production, and that Spine Crawler is going to help a lot. Ooh, Baneling's barely getting avoided here by Solar. Good job. Elazer going to try and take down these Banelings right here. He actually draws out one of the Banelings of his opponent. Elazer, oh, does eat a rather big Baneling shot on those Roaches, trying to prevent them from escaping. They end up getting a fair amount of value. Banelings will find some drones at the third. And the Spine Crawler, though, is getting some really good damage done from Solar. Finally, Elazer going to go to work on that. And now the drones will pull away as the Lings get in on top of Solar's army. But I think Solar is going to hold here, and it's the worker counts have evened, so it's actually going to be kind of an even game heading out of this. And look at this, they both drone at the same time. Yeah, this is now dead even. The main thing is that Solar can instantly get back into his +1 missile because he canceled it in order to hold this attack. He can get right back into his +1 missile as soon as he's got the money. But look at this, Elazer actually spending pretty much all of his gas on Ravagers to go for Overlord snipes. But it's actually very interesting. This is bluffing Solar into thinking there's another attack coming. So Solar, I think Solar canceled his lair. Yeah, he did. He canceled his lair. He just now restarted it. Wow. That is a very cool move from Elazer right here. And now he can use these units to snipe Overlords. Oh, one of the biles does get dodged. Nice quick reaction time from Solar. Still forcing his opponent to stop droning for a decent little bit. That is actually quite good for Elazer. But it's not as though the game is out of reach for Solar. Not at all. Once again, Elazer late on the gases at his newest bases and is floating a lot of minerals here. That is not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see at all. And he had a good lead going into the mid game in game number 1 of this best of 2 between these two players. And he lost it partially because of that. And now it's looking like the same thing may be happening again. Very painful. Meanwhile, Solar did finish up his layer quicker, which means he's going to be able to get up into the roach speed faster. But the +1 missile advantage won't be... Well, it won't be what it was in the previous game. That is for sure. Now, Solar really started to turn it on when it got to that roach burrow play phase of the game. We have seen Elazer in the past having an absolute blast in that. I've seen him have some fantastic series, specifically against Raynor, but can he pull it out now when his team needs it most? Do you have a Spire coming on in for Elazer? There's that... Oh, this is Baneling drop. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a good way to use your Banelings that are left over from the early game. Yeah, Elazer's going to hope that Solar attacks him and that he can hold it long enough for the Mutas to pop out. Actually, he's probably hoping that Solar commits to a lot of Ravagers. Oh, neither player with roach speed just yet, so it's very funny. The Ravagers are a fair bit faster, but it won't lead to any units actually going down. Solar taking advantage of the triangle location between the bases, and he's going to be able to be quite a nuisance here. Roaches. Oh, well, they will run into... No, they're not roaches. They're banelings. Of course. And he scouts the Spire, which is actually a nice unintended consequence of this. Solar wisely going after just the one baneling, or the one drone that was on gas. Elazer does get the jump on his opponent a little bit, but with no roach speed, he's not able to punish as effectively as you'd like. And now Solar throws down the Hydra Den, and it's going to be roaches replacing those banelings that sacked themselves. Ooh, Elazer. Oh, he's got to be a little careful right here. He is outnumbered, and Solar will be able to step into him. This is looking rather scary, but nah, the roaches rotate back over. Concave's going to be fine here. Elazer pulling back a few too many roaches, I think, into the main base to deal with just 4 roaches of his opponent. But Defender's advantage, is it going to be enough? Actually, yeah, with the better Concave for sure. Concave's so important in ZVZ. And behind all this, we got 4 Mutas on the way from Elazer. He will be able to clean up that Dropper Lord, but his opponent's going to be able to get into Hydras now. And Hydras are pretty decent. They're very good units. Elazer, once again, a little bit broke in terms of gas. No gases at the 4th just yet. Not balancing his economy. Yeah, not balancing his economy as well as we need to see. Definitely seems like a little bit of nerves maybe from Elazer. But also, I mean, Solar is creating a lot of chaos. He's a tough player to go up against. +2 missile will complete for Elazer momentarily, and he's really trying to bully his opponent with the biles. But, oh, actually, we see a big counterattack coming across the map here from Solar. Elazer, okay, does dodge the biles. Biles on both sides being dodged. Elazer actually might have enough to fight this. The Hydras there is not enough to tank for them. Ooh, and a couple corrosive biles do land. Meanwhile, Elazer's got enough to hold it home. This was a weird counterattack from Solar. Solar going to try and swing in from the back now and will actually be able to jump in on top of these Ravagers. This is rather nice. Oh, but then he corrosive biles two of his own roaches straight to death. Overall, I think this actually does favor Elazer just a little bit. Elazer's got a fair bigger bank. But it's a really marginal advantage if that. Ooh, and if he cuts off these roaches, that would be so good for Solar. Elazer going to try and cut his way out and maybe turn this into a counter sandwich. But I think Solar's just got more stuff here. Corrosive Biles on the ramp, landing home on Elazer's army. Those were like some 400 damage bile type things. That was big damage on Elazer's army, and now I definitely like it better for Solar. Solar will be able to take down the 5th base uncontested. Might even be able to sprint forward and take out the 3rd. Counterattack coming in from Solar is not, or from Elazer is not going to find too much. Solar really looking good here. Has a super chaotic game. But it seems like at the very least Elazer's stabilizing for the moment. He is still maxed out. And once again, all it comes down to is one good fight or one bad fight. And the game can turn in an instant. But it's Solar who has really been the driving force, the heavy initiator here. And it's harder to get a good fight when your opponent is constantly picking where the fights are happening. Last mute on the bottom right does run into a Spore, will get taken down. Once again, if Onsyde Gaming wins here, they have already secured themselves a 3 points and the match victory. 8 lurkers coming on in from Solar. He's slow teched to lurkers during all this. Now, Elazer will find the 4th base. He's going to be able to take that out. It's a very nice find. But now lurkers are out on the field. And if you don't have lurkers or vipers of your own, you just can't fight efficiently. It's a simple fact in this matchup. Lurkers dominate Zerg ground. Oh, Solar walking into his own corrosive bile takes 2 Hydra hits and a Ravager, 180 damage bile self-inflicted. Now, yeah, this is just a huge issue in terms of tech. Elazer does have slightly better upgrades, but, I mean, he can't fight his opponent's lurkers. Okay, those lurkers going to burrow up and prevent the flank. If Elazer had... Or, well, actually, if those lurkers had gotten there a little bit earlier, that could have been Elazer running straight into them. As it stands... Ooh, Elazer will find a couple of them, but it's not like siege tanks where you get on top of them and, you know, you can close the distance, really clean them up. Now, actually, he will find... Wow, he gets 3 lurkers in total. A very messy bit of army movement from Solar. Going to cost him a lot. Elazer catching him out with a few roaches. Is there an opportunity for Elazer here? He's getting into his own infestation pit and rebuilding 2 more hatches. But he is in some big trouble right now. He is way down in economy. Even though the worker counts are similar, Solar is... Well, actually, Solar lost his own 4th base for a little bit, so it's not like it's the worst thing in the world, but it's the tech. It's the tech more than anything. There's a lurker here on the right. No Overseer with that corrosive biles. I mean, you can't blind fire. You got to know exactly where you're shooting. The corrosive biles don't have the biggest radius. You need to hit pretty much center. Well, not center. You need to not miss by much. The target isn't gigantic, and trying to triangulate that just from the spines is very difficult, especially on creep. We are going to see roaches on the other side of the map. They're going to get pushed away, and Elazer does find a bit of an opening on the bottom right, but it's not much. It's not enough to actually push and kill the base. Meanwhile, 12 drones went down to the counterattack from Solar. Feels like the noose is tightening on Elazer here. Elazer is going to drone up, and he's got better upgrades, but it's a really small advantage. +2 versus +1 carapace. That is not the kind of thing that even remotely makes up for lurkers versus none. And we also have lurker range already done for Solar. Elazer, he might just build 5 Vipers and try and kill his opponent. Try and yoink all the Vipers out of the ground, or all the lurkers out of the ground and just go. But actually, it looks like we've got a Hydra Den now coming in from Elazer. So, okay, he has accepted that this is probably going super late. Or maybe he's just getting the Hydras as a precaution, like the Hydra Den, and then he will slow tech to lurkers. But oh wow, 6 Vipers. Okay, yeah, he really looks like he wants to try and just slam himself right through his opponent. I'm actually kind of surprised that Solar hasn't tried to do more with his lurker advantage, but he's going to do so now. Oh, and the lurker spines are getting some big value, massive damage. He's got that adaptive talons now. That's what he was waiting for. And you just burrow so quickly. Yeah, I think Elazer's got the Vipers out, but I don't think they've got what they need to fight just yet. Do they have energy? They got a little bit. There's the abducts. He's getting a few abducts right here. Corrosive Biles will land home on the center of the regular army for Solar. Oh, but I don't think it's enough time to abduct more or consume more energy here. Blinding Cloud is going to be very effective. He needs another one on the back 2 lurkers, but he's not getting them. There's another Blinding Cloud that does take care of one of these lurkers. Can Elazer actually hold here? He will get the final, well, another abduct on one of these lurkers. And look at that. Wow. Elazer somehow makes the hold happen. Does lose 8 drones during this, but this should have been a kill move. It was moments, inches away from being over, and Elazer manages to clean up the army and evens out the supply. And now he's got 5 Vipers left over. What a hold from Elazer. That was, it may not look that impressive, but with Solar bearing down on him like that, being able to hold at all is incredible. And now these Vipers are going to be so useful. And oh man, it's still an uncomfortable position for Elazer because his opponent has lurkers, he does not. And especially with Solar finding position on this right side, and now +3 missile completing, this could still be deadly for Elazer even here. Elazer, oh, he's going to lose this base. Oh, that's so bad. This is now the situation where the economies like really matter. Losing bases a lot. Losing bases matters a lot. Blinding Cloud not really hitting anything there, and the lurker spines obliterate Elazer. And Solar will take game number 4 and the series. And here we go for game 5. Spawning down on the bottom right for Team Liquid, it is Clem in the blue. And his opponent spawning up at the top left for Onsyde Gaming, it is Ryung in the red. This is a tough one for Team Liquid. Not a good feeling. Not a good feeling, not just for Team Liquid, but specifically for Clem. Because he is used to this situation, actually, where he comes out and the match is already decided. I don't know what the stat is for how many times that's happened, but it is not the first time where Clem comes out and the series is already over. So he can't affect the outcome. And that's demoralizing. That is extremely demoralizing. No one wants that. But at the same time, this is Onsyde Gaming. This is one of the championship contenders. So, you know, that's something to consider. It's week 1. Team Liquid can absolutely still turn it around and find a way to make the playoffs. Now, we do see a 1-Rax expand, gas first 1-Rax expand from Ryung. Clem did scout across the map, but will get depot walled out of his opponent's main base and didn't stick around to check the timing for the command center. So Ryung might be able to pull the wolves over Clem's eyes a little bit. Now Clem, or rather Ryung, Clem. Clem does go for the quick reactor here off of just a single Reaper. So that'll give him an opportunity to maybe find an opening with 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions, or potentially even 5 Reapers, 3 Hellions if he's feeling really adventurous. If he thinks he can out-micro his opponent. But I think part of the maturity of Clem, I guess, growing up as a player and maturing is recognizing that even if you have better micro than a player, sometimes you can't force better engagements just because you go for it. You need to let the engagements happen in many cases. And I think he's shown a lot of maturity in letting the game come to him a little bit more instead of trying to force the issue. And I think specifically in TVT, that's been his big point of evolution. It's been cool to see. Cool to see. But I think Ryung is one of those players that you could maybe make an argument that it would be worthwhile to try and test out his micro a little bit. Interesting move from Ryung, and it's funny because talking about Ryung is the player that I think of most when I see this 1 Rax expand into very quick reactor Hellions. The benefits of this are, well, they're many. For one, you get a lot of map control with it early on, a lot of fighting power, and you make up for the relative lack of fighting power that a 1 Rax expand has. But 2, you have a lot of gas savings. Now, can Clem get on top of this? Ooh, he does go in before his 2 Reapers join up, and the Hellions are... Well, it looks like it's going to be a mostly even trade. Nice split right there from Clem, but no, Ryung will clean this up. And actually, yeah, this is much better for Ryung. 4 Hellions, 1 Reaper for 5 Reapers, 3 Hellions. Yeah, that is much better for Ryung. Initially, it wasn't so bad. That is a really good start. So here we see, showcased in all its glory, the power of that quick reactor Hellion is Ryung was able to deal with that so well. So well. And now he gets to reap the full benefits of the 1 Rax expand, and that's a 5 SCV lead. 4.5, 5 SCV lead. Yeah, this is a really strong start here for Ryung. Now, what are we going to see to follow this up? And yeah, sorry, the other thing about the Reactor Hellion that's so great is you have these... you like don't lose any time on the Raven really or the Starport because you're not spending gas on Reapers early on. Oh, Cyclone. Not able to keep those 2 SCVs alive. Wump wump. Using an auto turret early is a little bold. Ryung, oh, gotta be careful. He does turn around as he sees his opponent's army. Clem getting a little bit supply blocked at 70 just for a moment. So not the worst thing in the world. And 3rd command center timings are pretty similar. This is by no means over. Not only is, you know, a worker lead relatively marginal, it's TVT, where the worker lead can be overcome very easily by just sending the game to the later stages, the mid game, and even the late game. Still, Ryung enjoys a comfortable lead, and he's always been quick to get to his upgrades. Ryung understands TVT extremely well. He understands the win conditions. He knows when to cut certain units, when to, you know, when he's behind and when to focus on certain things. And that's what really makes his TVT special to me. And it's the same concept as how Maru plays TVT, but I think Maru is just a little better at the other aspects as well. So a little bit better at, you know, the constant tank duels that happen, the mechanics of it all. The mechanics of it all. But Ryung is extremely good at making the correct decision almost all the time. Now, we are going to see Clem starting up his own 1-1, and it's only about maybe 15, 20 seconds behind that of Ryung. Certainly recoverable, but he will have to be very careful about the potential timing. For now, yeah, this is just going to settle down a little bit. Ryung did get supply blocked actually kind of brutally at 109. 4 depots, fortunately for him, were on the way, so he gets unblocked very, well, kind of all at once. But you see that supply fills up very quickly. So he was clearly ready to spend, ready to fill it all up. Actually, I was just going to say he needs more depots like right now. And as I say, he starts up another 4, 3? Just 3. Okay. Kind of neat to watch the ebb and flow of Terran production. Looks like, yeah, it's actually, as things get a little bit further on, the game has mostly equalized. And that's the one thing that sucks about TVT is if you get an early game lead is how do you push it? How do you push that early game lead without pushing it too far? Because you don't want to be so greedy such that your opponent can counterattack you and just kill you. All right, what do we have going on so far? Viking counts. Those are important to keep an eye on in the mid game. This is one of those situations where I wish I was in the game itself, so I could check things out for my own reference. Ryung just sharking around with a double medevac drop on the right side, but this is so non-committal. He's just looking for any little thing he can find. Ryung right up into his 2-2. Does he start +1 vehicle weapons? I think that's kind of a necessity here. Clem, he starts up his vehicle weapons right away. Hasn't started up his 2-2. There we go. Starts up +2 attack. There's Ryung's +1 for the vehicle weapons. The couple units from Ryung from earlier are just going to move forward on the left side. Looks like Ryung does want to move through the middle of the map here. Clem not seeing it coming. Oh, anti-armor missile on the Vikings. But Clem does have some well-placed tanks. Interference matrices are going to come on in. We don't see Clem dropping any interference matrices of his own. And that means the tanks of Ryung just go to town. Ryung just walks right up into the natural of Clem and just bops him on the head. Clem was not prepared for that. Didn't have a sensor tower well-placed. And now Ryung gets an amazing position on his opponent. Clem not out of it yet, but is in some really big trouble here. Clem, oh, is he going to lift the command center and pull the boys? The Hellbats are actually going to be super handy if Clem does pull the boys here to try and break this. Ryung, got to be careful about not unsieging all at once. There it is. There's the big pull. 4 tanks getting disabled here. Clem pulls a lot of SCVs into this. Can he get the break? He isn't on top of the tanks, but the target fire from Ryung from those tanks is very good. And now the backline tanks wake up. And that is going to be Clem getting pushed back. He lost 21 SCVs and didn't break the position fully. Ryung was able to get out with a lot of army. And that might have even been just a positive trade overall, even without the SCV losses. But when you factor in the worker count, this looks so over right now. Clem is completely on the ropes. The Viking, the air superiority for Ryung is huge. I'd love to see him instantly add on just a single Liberator, just one Liberator right now to try and push Clem back even further. Oh, medevac gets blown up as well. Ryung will take down the sensor tower of his opponent. That just blinds Clem a little bit more. Clem going to finish up his own 2-2, but I don't know, Kev. This looks really brutal. Ryung is maxed out. And Clem, yeah, there it is. There's those 2 Liberators that I was asking for. I think these might be the final nail in the coffin. Clem is on 4 bases. Ooh, nice drop on top of this, but a nice counter unsiege from Clem to avoid the friendly fire. You can see that Clem is still, like, mechanically still good. But this is a position that is just so difficult to deal with. Oh, Ryung going to sprint forward. Will find a siege tank. And he's just going to go for it. He's got the Marine numbers. And he will break through on this bottom side. Going to open up the natural for himself. Clem trying to get siege tanks back in position, but Ryung has got him locked out. Locked out and locked down. And Ryung behind us, 2 more starports were just added on. He's ready to go into the Raven transition of his own. Clem doesn't even have the units yet to clean this up in a natural. Now, those units are stuck. But there it is. There's those Liberators. That's going to allow Ryung to move forward. He even gets another tank of his, for his troubles. And Clem, he's running through the siege tank line. Nothing he can do. GG gets called. Ryung puts his team up 5-0. Well played from the TBT Master. And here we go. Final map of the series. Spawning up at the top right. For Team Liquid, it is Clem. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left for Onsyde Gaming. It's Ryung in the red. And Ryung, he just looks so confident and poised in this matchup. It's funny because the answer to who is a faster player, no one in the world would say that Ryung is the faster player. But Clem was the one on the back foot. He only got to be aggressive once, really. He was aggressive with the Reaper Hellion. It backfired super hard. He was behind in units and economy at that point. And then Ryung did a tiny bit of harassment. And then he pushed. And then he won. And yeah, I know it's TBT, but it's rough to watch him just let the match happen to him. So it's funny because I was talking about, it's important to not force things in StarCraft 2 and let the game come to you. But don't let your opponent walk all over you at the same time. I don't know. TBT is a matchup where it's tough. It's tough because you can't just... You still need to be making army maneuvers in general. That's the cool thing about TBT is there's a lot of very cool maneuvering. And the best maneuver Terrans are usually the ones that are the best at the game, at TBT specifically. So someone like... Who would we be talking about here? Someone like TY is an excellent maneuvering Terran. Ryung, obviously an excellent maneuvering Terran. Gumiho. Gumiho is also a highly chaotic and fast player, but he's also really good at making those big arcing maneuvers. It's really cool. Really cool. Now, Clem, will he try and get a little bit more aggressive in this game number 2? They both opened up double gas this time, so Ryung's not going to have a big economic advantage if Clem doesn't punish him. Now, we do see Clem trying to shark forward here with a couple of units, and we'll be able to bully a little bit of this away. He's on 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion versus 2 Reaper, 1 Hellion, and soon to be 4 Marines, but for now it's just the 2. And with the Cyclone popping out as well, yeah, it's going to be enough to drive Clem back. Clem, instant reaction time, gets out of there. Good decision, good stuff. Now, a little bit of a push coming in with a medevac here. And the 4 Marines inside. Nice zoning grenades from Clem to just push his opponent back. And we've got a similar army. Oh, nice lock-on from Clem on top of that medevac. Ryung, did he get the lock on his opponent's medevac? No, he did not. So nice advantage here coming in from Ryung. Better micro and better awareness of the situation. He figured out what his opponent was doing. And that's kind of what I was looking for from Clem. But it's funny, it's not the way I was expecting. Oh. A little bit of a jump there. Must have been an issue with the clean feed. Not sure what that was, but it's all good. I don't think we missed anything is the important part. Third CC is coming on in for Clem. Ryung adding on additional barracks. But just one? Or was that 2 additional barracks? Yeah, it was just 1. Okay, so this is going to be like a weird 2-1-1 type thing into a third CC. Oh, Clem. Oh, he'll be able to get out of here. Does pick off a couple Marines. Not able to get that depot, though. That would have been the really nice play. Finding a supply depot. Still, a good start from Clem. And he is on the... Well, not on the verge. It would be really nice if they could avoid a clean sweep. Onsyde Gaming will sweep some teams in the regular season, for sure. I'm willing to guarantee that. But you do not want to be one of them if you're trying to make the playoffs. Because map differential matters, and it matters a lot. In addition, winning in 4 maps as opposed to... winning in 6 maps as opposed to going to the ace match is also an important thing. Team GP, once upon a time, won 5 matches in the ace match against outstanding opponents, including Dragon Phoenix Gaming. I think... Who did they win against that season in the playoffs? It was Dragon Phoenix Gaming for sure was one of them. Maybe Kitesa Gaming as well. But they won against some championship tier teams. And they ended up missing the playoffs. Because even though they won 5 matches, in the standings, it was only worth 10 points. And so winning 3 matches in regulation and losing 1 in the Game 7 was worth the same amount in the standings. And for that matter, winning just 4 matches was far better. Worth 2 extra points more than that. 12 points to 10. And they ended up, I think, missing the playoffs by a very small margin. So every map really does matter. Now, granted, we're talking about the difference between map differential and point total. But still, it's going to be interesting. Going to be very intense, I should say. Oh, Cyclone will get saved by the Marines. But look at that. Nice job from Clem. Just fires a big Hellion shot into the Marine clump. At the very least, he'll drain a bunch of medevac energy. I mean, it's not really a big issue. This isn't one of those matchups where medevac energy dictates who wins or loses often. But it was a cute little move. Oh, but Ryung does find all of those units. Gets the revenge. Those Marines definitely feeling the heat. But they were able to stay in the kitchen. Now, let's take a look at the production tab. What do we have going on so far? Once again, TVT in the mid-game can be very slow-paced if neither player doesn't want to bring the heat to the other. Nice snipe on the medevac there from Clem. Does find one of those medevacs. That's a solid little pick off. Still, it feels... I don't want to, like... Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, if he moves out, it kind of puts the lie to what I was about to say. I was just going to say, it feels like Clem is a little bit more afraid to lose than, you know, trying to go for the dub. Now, we do see a nice spotter Marine here from Clem. Good spotter units from both players, to be honest. Ooh, Siege Tank for Clem will get jumped on. Ryung, great split on the Marines on the back end. Only loses like 1 or 2 Marines for that. Oh, stim again. Okay, there we go. The 1 Marine did not have enough HP to pay the stim tax, but still got out of there regardless. Nice little pickoff from Ryung. finding a siege tank for effectively free is always a good thing. Scan from Ryung spots the army of Clem trying to rotate over to the left side. Very good read from Ryung. That was an outstanding read. Oh, and another good scan from Ryung. Watching man, he is keeping track of his opponent's army so well. Clem really trying to sneak and grab the upper hand on his opponent, but Ryung just knows what he needs to do here. Meanwhile, counter drop on the other side of the map. The planetary fortress is not yet done. Ryung, if he had gone in right away, maybe could have gotten a few SCVs there. Would have been kind of nice. Ooh, Clem might actually find Ryung a little bit unprepared for this fight, but it's actually Ryung who reacts first. Hits an interference matrix. Ryung chasing a little bit farther than I expected. And he will get a bit of a bloody nose for it. And now Ryung is going to lose a tank of his own. Ooh, but the 2 tanks in the back will be good. However, Clem gets the jump on his opponent's siege tanks as they try and come back here. Now the Marines are funneling in through a choke for Ryung, but Clem losing all of his Marines. And that means Ryung will still be able to clean this up. Still comes out killing a lot of his opponent's tanks. That looked really good for Clem initially, but he just didn't have the Marine count to prevent Ryung from collapsing the position. Still, pretty even game. Ryung, well, actually, look at their upgrade timings. They're so similar right now. Ryung will be a little bit late on his +2 armor. And that could actually be a big factor here. The engagement is going to break out right now. Anti-armor missile going to make it a 3 upgrade advantage for the short duration. But there we go. There's that +2 armor finishing. And Ryung, I mean, he pulled his Marines very far back. Clem, ooh, he boosts the medevacs to the right side. I think he was scanned before he loaded up. Ryung, oh, looking to move forward here. Clem, can he get in on top of this? There is a tank behind this for Ryung. And some good tank positioning from Ryung, but Ryung might be overextending a lot, actually. Very nice cleanup from Clem. He is going to be able to clear out all of his opponent's army, and Clem retains every siege tank just about. Ryung loses all of his. That is a very good fight for Clem. And his first real success in this game. Ryung, by the way, is playing 8 barracks, 16 Marine at a time style of TVT. I swear I saw 16 Marines on the production tab for a moment. I might be wrong about that, though. He is building 2 tanks at a time at the very least. Okay, yeah, there we go. It's flashed up to 12 for a second, so it's at least... Oh, that was a big tank shot for Ryung. He does lose 2 of his own tanks, but he got 3 in the middle of Clem's army there. Clem? No, he's still got to be a little bit careful here. Oh, nice job with the Vikings that Clem has, able to pick off the medevac as it tries to retreat with that tank. Clem slowly but surely pinching his opponent off, and now 3 Liberators on the way at once. And as soon as you have air superiority in this matchup, in the mid game or like later stages of the mid game, it is super worth it for to grab a Liberator or 2. Now Clem's got to be careful that he doesn't overbuild Liberators, but fortunately for him, Ryung is not building Vikings. Oh, and the other thing is too, the more Liberators you have, the more covered you are against just a snipe attempt to try and take out those Liberators. And look at that, all the Marines go down. We do see the counterattack from Ryung getting deflected in the picture-in-picture. And Ryung, once again, he's sending a lot of units forward to try and deal with this. I believe that advanced ballistics have finished here for Clem. Also, 3-3 is quite a bit faster for the French Terran. So he's really starting to make progress here. And now he's going to stim in on top of this planetary. Look at that, leading with 1 Marine to draw the planetary fortress fire. Clem will be able to take down this base. He'll find 16 SCVs for his troubles. But Ryung going for a big counter punch on the other side of the map, as he must. Ryung actually supply blocked at 188. Oh, nice defensive tanks here for Clem. We'll get some big shots on these Marines. And in fact, Clem is just going to mostly push this back right out the gate. And now, yeah, he's going to kill everything here. Oh, this is so good for Clem. Ryung recognizing, yeah, nothing he can do there. Great defensive maneuver from Clem, but not the happiest look for good reason. Even though Clem gets the dub there in the end and prevents the clean sweep, He still comes out to a losing proposition. He's the best performer on his team, but when your team loses 1-5, that's not the best feeling, and that's a small consolation. Regardless, congratulations to Onsyde Gaming. Excellent performance from them. And that's going to do it for Week 1 coverage of the World Team League. Make sure to check out the playlist. That'll have coverage of the entire season on here. And it looks like the best game of the week was Shopify Rebellion versus Starlight Twinkle. I would definitely recommend checking that out. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.